tayong 4P's beneficiaries doon po sa Santa Rosa at sa buong lalawigan ng Laguna. And we are trying to secure. Kailangan po natin ma-secure ang ating pong mahirap ng mga kababayan. And by doing so, we have to find out the root of all of this problem.
Committee report of the Senate, which shows that the amendment came from them. So the reduction of 6.5 billion was proposed by the Senate.
What?
Ang pondo pagdating sa BICAM, pag-akit po sa Senado, nawawala.
Natin ang nakasulat dito sa isang press statement sa Senado, tagay sa press statement ni Senator Marcos po kasi siya po yung naging sponsor ng budget ng DSWD.
Mr. Chairman, siya ba ang chairperson ng pag-defend ng budget ng DSWD sa budget?
Noong taon na yun, if I remember correctly, siya po, Mr. Chair.
And as a matter of fact, kanina you were saying that 30% na para bang inclusion and exclusion, no? I believe hindi siya masyado accurate kung we're talking about the 30% inclusion and exclusion because more of these are inclusion. Because yung exclusion, halos kakaunti na lang yung nagiging umaangat sa kanilang di ba? But I think the more proper way to kasi when I was a part of the League of the Mayors when we started this sa CBMS, I found out that there are more poor people that are in the list. Kaya I think kung 30% of inclusion and exclusion, mas marami dito yung percentage ng inclusion. Am I correct, Mr. Chairman?
That's a rough estimate from PSA. Basically what they're saying is, maaring 30% ng current na populasyon natin na mahihirap, wala dyan. At meron ring malamang na 30% na maaring nasa loob. But ang qualification natin dun sa na-include na maaring hindi, humirap ang buhay after COVID, so yung dating hindi mahirap, naging mahirap. But bottom line, what I'm trying to drive at, Madam Chair, Mr. Chair, delikado na yung lumang listahan. Listahan ng 3 is very obsolete, coming to its age. Siguro we can utilize it one more year, pero pigang-piga na ho yun. So hopefully by next year, we use the a new CBMS, newly ran CBMS.
And most likely, with your guidance with all the different mayors together with the DILG, we can somehow issue a circular again for the LGUs to update the CBMS. Can we do that, Mr. Secretary?
Madam Chair, Mr. Chair, the good congressman is correct. Sabay ho kami naging mayor, so we know this very well. May batas na ho and it's mandated already. The last Congress, your Congress, approved it. PSA, from my understanding, is sila na kasi maging lead agency in data gathering, in formulating the questionnaire, in executing it. Of course, with the help of the DILG.
Unfortunately.
Yung pera, I believe, and I can only assume that from what I was told, is in the unprogrammed side. Wala siya talagang direct line item. And that's why PSA has been asking us to also explain to our policymakers the danger of not releasing that unprogrammed of PSA in the soonest possible time.
Yes, kasi Mr. Chairman, talaga magkakaroon to ng problem because a lot of people were not included in the list, no? And most likely, mas marami na ngayon. Kasi na-practice na natin pagbigay ng tupad, ng mga benepisyo, and people are looking that they'll be included in the listahan 1 and 2. And 3 as well. But unfortunately, kung wala tayong CBMS na updated, magkakaroon talaga po tayo ng problem. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Secretary, dito sa presentation mo, you have, I have noticed that you have consultative meeting with the DBM on January 29, 2024. What transpired with that meeting?
Basically, nag-worry ho kasi kami dito sa yung kulang natin, the unappropriated 9 billion. Nag-worry ho kami dyan kasi nagko-comply na lahat. In 1 to 2 weeks right after Holy Week, tapos na yung compliance. And of course, our beneficiaries will start looking for their grants. Kasi
Yes.
nabayaran na natin yung iba, as I mentioned. So a big chunk of this will start saying, oh, complied na kami, but tayo na kami bayaran. And between us, mahirap sabihin na hindi man namin alam paano ipapaliwanag. So
Okay, Mr. Secretary, for more clarity, so these 9 billion that we are talking about, that you have a discussion with DBM, are exactly on education grant, on rice subsidy, and the
Health. Yes.
health grant. Health grant, correct.
Health.
So this is the totality of that 9 billion that is unappropriated right now.
Iba pa yun. Yes, sir. Tama. The two of you are correct.
So, again, ano pong sinabi ng DBM?
I am no expert in appropriations, but we were trying to contest na doon sa special provision. I'm sure you know this very well.
Yes.
Na we can, na our contention was, if I read it, the 106 billion appropriated herein for the Pantawid Pamilya shall be used to support poverty reduction and social development strategy of the national government, provided that the 4P's covered are eligible beneficiaries under section blah blah blah. The said amount includes cash grants, rice subsidy, and the other grants thereof. The above mentioned beneficiaries are compliant. In our opinion kasi, as long as compliant ka, and then beneficiary ka, you're covered by this. Meaning we can use our contention, and we're probably not right, I'm sure we're not. The current appropriation, plano namin sana gamitin for the previous payable. Kasi it made no distinction, in our opinion, the special provision made no distinction between years. Diba? Parang sinabi niya, basta ano ka, kung tatagalugin ko, kasi nandito yung mga ibang 4P's beneficiary, na kung ikaw ay kwalipikadong beneficiaryo ng 4P's, dapat na gamitin nyo tong pera na to pang bayad. It never, in our opinion, in our humble opinion, never said 2023 pang 2023. We're treating it hopefully like a trade payable. Na pagka nakalibro siyang payable, like just like any other supplier, pwede mo gamitin yung current appropriation. But we're still waiting officially for DBM's written answer. They're also doing their due diligence on the matter. So yun ang naging ending namin.
So in other words, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Secretary, the requirements and the prerequisites that
Have been met.
entails on that program was satisfied
Yes.
by the department,
By the beneficiaries.
by beneficiaries and the department.
Yes.
With that, it was included as well in the National Expenditure Program. The budget of
In the, yes,
in
correct.
the NEP for
Correct.
2024, it was included,
Both for 2023
and 2024, it was included.
Yes.
So in other words, it passed through the Congress. So we have seen the appropriated amount that was written on the NEP. So what happened to the 9 billion that now you are asking if we were able to appropriate on our side about this 9 billion pesos that was written on the NEP?
Okay, Mr. Chair, I can't assume what happened. Basta all we know is that when we submitted our NEP, our proposal, it was there.
Yes.
Kasi we have a rough estimate of, we're assuming that all 4.4 will comply. So when we submit it, buo po yun. Now, what happens inside Congress, we're not privy to it. So, yun ako, I'm afraid I cannot I cannot hypothesize. But one thing I can say, in the national expenditure, when we submitted it, mas malaki pa nga. In our tier 2, mas malaki pa yung
And
sinabit.
that's the reason why, Mr. Chair,
So, ano na siguro, just to reformulate the question raised by Chairman Dan, if he allows. What's the reason of both houses na inislas?
Mr. Chair, with all due respect, I have ceased being a congressman last year. So wala na akong internal, I don't
No,
know. exactly.
No, kasi,
Hindi ko na alam eh.
kasi sumulat ka, di ba?
Yes, to reiterate. To
Yeah,
reiterate
so
what
what's the reply?
Sir.
Doon na lang muna tayo. What's the reply of the lower house, or the bigger house and the smaller house?
And we did not get a reply.
Reply?
From both chambers, we did not get a reply.
Oh, Senior Vice Chair ng APLO, walang walang
Mr. Chair,
reply.
we don't question it. We wrote to reiterate. We didn't expect an answer.
Anyway, pero,
Mr. Chair, hindi pa po.
sandali, ano lang, susugan ko lang yung mga tanong mo. Pero, Stella, will you answer the query of the...
Mr. Chairman, kasi wanted to be knowledgeable on this issue because it might happen again in the next budget hearing, and it worries us because marami tayong 4P's beneficiaries doon po sa Santa Rosa at sa buong lalawigan ng Laguna, and we are trying to secure. Kailangan po natin ma-secure yung ating pong mamahirap ng mga kababayan, and by doing so, we have to find out the root of all of this problem. Kaya, Mr. Chairman, I demand an answer from this committee. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Bakit this committee? Anyway, Senior Vice Chair, Stella, can you recognize? Please proceed.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I will share with you information from the committee report of the Senate, which shows that the amendment came from them. So the reduction of 6.5 billion was proposed by the Senate.
What? That's for Chairman Dan Fernandez. Please behave well. Please wait to be recognized before you speak. Senior Vice Chair, that is for the 2024 budget. That's 6.5.
Yes.
No, dalawa kasi yan yung 2023. What happens in 2023? Which is 9 billion. Well, in fact, 13 billion ngayon eh. Di ba? 13 billion. Di ba? Pero, of course, ang deficit yan.
What I have with me are the 2024 documents.
How about the 2023, the 13 billion?
Hindi na kalaban. Kukunin ko.
Please proceed. Sige, sige po.
Yes,
2024 muna tayo.
I
Please
can
proceed.
read the 2023, but what I just cited was the 2024.
So that's on record that it was the Senate. It was the Senate.
So the 6.4,
So,
Mr. Chair? Ay, sorry, Mr. Chair. Sorry po.
Dandahan. Ako muna. Anyway, Senior Vice Chair, so yung 6.5 billion was realigned. Paano nangyaring realignment? Saan pumunta? O nga, pero kasi
Of course, there are many agencies, right? So, kailangan mong isa-isahin.
pero what agency benefits?
0.5 billion was cut out from the DSWD fund. And saan nagpunta yung 6.5 billion? And who proposes that cut out of that budget cutting from the DSWD department?
Hindi naka-indicate which particular member. Ang naka-indicate lang sa report would be the department.
But was it proposed by the lower house or was it?
This is the Senate. This is the Senate report. So sa Senate,
Mr. Chairman, can we possibly get a copy of that because we are not privy on that issue?
So the amendment was done at the Senate.
Yun na po malinaw, the amendment was proposed by the Senate. Pero of course, may minutes sila dyan, di ba? Kaya lang, we're not
Yes.
aware of, and we don't have the document. If you ask them about the document from the Senate,
Yeah, we will be asking the good gentle lady to if ever that she's a senior member of the Committee on Appropriation. Probably she can give us a copy of that. And with that, Mr. Chairman, probably we can see the light. And with that, I submit, Mr. Chairman.
thank you, Chairman Tan.
Mr. Chair,
Before,
Mr. Chair,
sandali po. Is it related to the
Yes.
query?
yes,
After
may I interject?
Congressman Erwin Tolfo, I will recognize Congressman Jesse Abalos, then Chairman Akop. Please proceed.
Mr. Chair, maybe we're asking the wrong people on this matter. Ang kailangan po siguro natin tanungin ay ang Senate, what happened, saan dinala? Simple as it is, hindi po masasagot po ng ating kalihim, no matter how we grill him, hindi rin po masasagot na kasama po natin na Vice Chair ng Appropriation. It happened during sa BICAM, and after BICAM, that's where it got lost. Sir, it has been happening. Believe me, as a DSWD Secretary, even just for 6 months, I've learned a lot of things. Na nawawala po ang pondo pagdating sa BICAM, pag-akit po sa Senado, nawawala. And lo and behold, napupunta na lang kung saan-saan. Not in the AGA, napupunta po kung saan-saan. Believe me.
Then, Congressman Castro, please proceed. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair, Madam Chair. To answer the query of our esteemed colleague, Honorable Fernandez, and to further add to the points raised by Congressman Tulfo, I would like to add to the minutes or the records of this committee a press statement from the Senate. Maybe this would address yung tanong po natin regarding the 2023 budget cut as presented by our DSWD. Meron na tayong 9.05 billion deficit noong 2023. Ngayon, kung titingnan po natin ang nakasulat dito sa isang press statement sa Senado, nakalagay po dyan, recommend ang pagtapyas ng 8 billion dahil nga daw mababa yung utilization rate and ini-align ito sa mga ibang programa which are Kalay Seeds, AIX, tsaka sa mga quick response natin sa mga calamity. So sa madaling salita po, yun po ang nakalagay sa press statement ni Senator Marcos po kasi siya po yung naging sponsor ng budget ng DSWD.
Mr. Chairman, siya ba ang chairperson ng pag-defend na ng budget ng DSWD sa budget?
Noong taon na yun, if I remember correctly, siya po, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, then
sandali.
may I
You-
interject? May we
siya-
ask the secretary
sandali,
then,
sandali.
Mr. Chair.
Kung
That's what
sandali.
that's what they're saying,
Kung
sir.
sandali po. Please wait to be recognized, please speaking. You're talking about the 9 billion.
Yes, I'm talking about 2023, the 9 billion
2023, the 9
deficit
billion.
and the 8
Okay.
billion budget cut for that year. So tingin ko po, Mr. Chair, kung hindi sana natapyasan ng 8 billion ang budget ng taong yon, yung deficit ng DSWD, sana 1 billion na lang. Ngayong dahil natapyasan, umabot po ng 9B. So yun lang naman po, Mr. Chair. Yun yung nakalagay po sa press statement.
Thank you, Congressman Abalos. Reptol po.
Mr.
Please.
Chair, then sinabi nila na nilipat sa Kalahi, that will solve the problem. That will solve the question. Eh kung wala naman natanggap yung pobre, kawawa naman yung DSWD, di po ba? Kasi ginagawa lang tambakan, ginagawang taguan or something, hindi naman niya natanggap. So we'll ask the secretary, natanggap po ba ng DSWD? Nalagay po ba sa Kalahi? Nalagay po ba sa SLP? Para magkaliwanawan ho tayo dito, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Reptol po. Sec,
Thank you,
please
Mr.
answer
Chair.
the
Thank you,
query.
Kong Tulfo. What I can confirm, nadagdagan yung mga budget ng mga programa na yon. But I don't have the data now kung magsusuma total siya doon sa amount na yon at kung doon nang galing. I can, the good congresswoman is here, hindi ako pwede mag-assume na doon nang galing yon. It could be nadagdagan yung mga programa na yon. Totoo yon. That I can confirm. Nadagdagan. Ang hindi ko lang kaya sabihin if nag-add at kung saan galing.
But you confirm that nadagdagan yung mga programang na yun.
Yes.
Okay, sa pagdagdag ng programa na yon, naka-realign yan, di ba? So malinaw, pati implementation dapat nandun, di ba? So can you submit to us?
The
yeah.
variance per program?
Yeah,
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we will gladly